The metallic hum of the orbital training facility echoed through the vast corridors as cadets from across the galaxy prepared for their daily drills. Among them was Marcus Kane, a human recruit who had earned both admiration and ridicule for his unorthodox methods. Standing at an average height with calloused hands and a determined glint in his eyes, Marcus wasn't what anyone would call impressive by intergalactic standards, but he carried something far more valuable than brute strength or advanced physiology. He carried grit. The Galactic Defense Academy was no ordinary institution. It brought together beings from dozens of species to train under one roof. For centuries, humanity had been considered inferior, a young race struggling to keep up with civilizations that had mastered space travel millennia ago. Yet here, Marcus stood, defying expectations simply by being present among elites. Today's sparring session promised to be particularly brutal. Rumors swirled about Xylar Vrax, an Arcturan warrior renowned for his dominance in combat simulations. Arcturans were apex predators, towering over most species with shimmering exoskeletons and razor-sharp claws. They were bred for battle, and Xylar was said to be the finest of them all. His reputation preceded him like a storm cloud, darkening the mood of even the bravest cadets. Marcus entered the arena, a massive dome-shaped chamber designed to mimic various terrains. Holographic projections flickered to life, creating jagged cliffs and dense forests around the fighters. The crowd gathered on elevated platforms, eager to witness another display of Xylar's prowess. Whispers filled the air as Marcus stepped forward, clad in standard-issue combat gear that seemed almost laughable next to Xylar's reinforced armor. "Well, well," Xylar sneered, his voice deep and guttural. "Look what we have here. A fragile little human. I didn't realize they let primitive apes into this academy." A ripple of laughter spread through the spectators. Most humans would have flinched, but Marcus merely smiled. He had faced worse insults growing up on Earth, where humanity itself was often dismissed as irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. This wasn't just about him. It was about proving that humans could hold their own against the universe's so-called superior races. "Let's make this quick," Xylar continued, cracking his knuckles theatrically. "I don't want to waste my time humiliating someone who won't even survive the first round." The instructor signaled for the match to begin. Xylar lunged immediately, moving with terrifying speed. His claws sliced through the air, aiming straight for Marcus's chest. To the audience's astonishment, Marcus sidestepped effortlessly, leaving Xylar stumbling past him. "What?" Xylar growled, spinning around. He swung again, this time with a sweeping arc meant to cleave Marcus in two. Again, Marcus dodged, his movements fluid and precise. It was as if he could predict every attack before it came. "You're fast," Marcus said calmly, his tone betraying none of the adrenaline coursing through his veins. "But speed isn't everything." Xylar snarled, enraged by the audacity of this puny human. He unleashed a flurry of strikes, each one faster and more ferocious than the last. But Marcus slipped through them like water, never staying in one place long enough to be hit. The crowd fell silent, their initial amusement replaced by disbelief. How was a human outmaneuvering an Arcturan? Then, without warning, Marcus struck back. It was a single punch, delivered with pinpoint accuracy to Xylar's midsection. The impact sent shock waves rippling through the alien's body, causing him to double over in pain. Before Xylar could recover, Marcus followed up with a swift kick to the side of his head, sending him sprawling onto the ground. The entire arena froze. No one spoke. No one breathed. Xylar Vrax, the undefeated champion of the Academy, lay defeated. In seconds. Marcus stood over him, not gloating, but resolute. "Strength isn't measured by size or speed," he said, his voice carrying across the stunned silence. "It's about knowing when and where to strike, and knowing yourself." For a moment, there was only the sound of Xylar's labored breathing. Then, slowly, applause began to build. At first hesitant, then thunderous, the cadets erupted into cheers. Even some of the instructors joined in, nodding in approval. Marcus had done the impossible, not just by winning, but by earning respect, as Xylar struggled to his feet. His pride wounded far more than his body. He met Marcus's gaze. There was no malice in the human's expression, only quiet confidence. For the first time in his life, Xylar felt something unfamiliar. Humility. I underestimated you, Xylar admitted gruffly. You've earned my respect, human, Marcus nodded. Good. Maybe next time, you'll think twice before calling someone primitive. From that day forward, Marcus Kane became a legend within the academy. Humans were no longer seen as weak or insignificant. They were a force to be reckoned with. And though Marcus knew the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, he also knew one thing for certain. In a universe full of giants, even the smallest among them could rise above.